My people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to formality. Welcome to respect for the opposition. Welcome to the acceptance of being the underdog. We are within, and your boy would like to try his best to be sober in the reality of how we can break down PSG, disjoint them, discomfort them, and try to get the result on Sunday, from my perspective. As per the analysis of games that I watched across the season, I gave my time to PSG. I watched the Champions League very aggressively, and I only saw vulnerabilities in 2 games. Maybe 3, but mainly 2 games. The first one being the second leg between PSG and Liverpool, and the other one being Arsenal, who lost. But Arsenal versus PSG, there were some elements that you can look at and say maybe Chelsea can exploit that element of the game and get some joy.
Here we go.
PSG play with a back four. It's a 4-3-3 mainly. It could become a back five, 5-4-1 of sorts, but mainly it's a back four when Achraf Hakimi and Nuno Mendes get into their natural positions. So Liverpool in that second leg, in which they lost 1-0, they had won the first leg 1-0, and they lost the tie on penalties to PSG. How did they do it? It was a 4-4-4. Man marking in the back line. Salah, Slobo, Jota, and on the left side, I believe it was Luis Diaz. They were all marking their man. 4-4-4. So PSG was sort of suffocated in the back line. They had to go all the way back to Donnarumma. Donnarumma received the ball, but he had to go long almost on every occasion because of Liverpool's press. Liverpool, when they pressed, if they're going to press Donnarumma, they make sure that they're guarding that the man behind them, for example, a Pacho or a Marquinhos, can't receive the ball in space. But eventually, PSG found a way around it. So Luis Enrique, what he did in that situation, he told Vitinha, come back, start the ball alongside Donnarumma, and they will play through Vitinha. Vitinha would be the man to look for an option. Is it Pacho? Do I go straight to one of the wing backs in Mendes or Hakimi? And then eventually, PSG saw that Liverpool can't keep doing this if Dembele starts to drop deeper to receive the ball and then move forward. So PSG started to overload the midfield to ensure that the high press from Liverpool is sort of nullified and they can play through the lines. So they switch up their options. And then eventually, when Liverpool become paranoid and say, oh, now Dembele is dropping deeper, someone has to mark Dembele because he's leaving our back line of Van Dijk, Konate, Trent. All those men are now left all alone to do almost nothing. One of them is now almost null and void. So Liverpool have to revert to another man pressing. Now, PSG said, let's just go back to the original plan. We'll get the ball into one of our defenders, and then we'll get the ball to Mendes or Hakimi, depending on who has more space to drive the ball forward. And as we know in attack, PSG find a way to have 6 men in the forward line, with Hakimi and Mendes joining the striker, Dembele, joining Dewey, joining Kvaratskhelia, and Joao Neves will join the attack in moments. So that's the threat. Why do I feel Chelsea can actually tackle this? Against Arsenal, it was a similar thing. Arsenal pressed high, but Arsenal pressed with 5 players in the front line. Odegaard joined the press. Merino, of course, played as a striker. He was pressing heavily. Bukayo Saka pressing heavily. Martinelli pressing heavily to discomfort PSG's back line. Chelsea will have to do the same. I actually see Nicholas Jackson starting this game. If Joao Pedro does start, he'll probably start as a second striker on the left side of the attack. But that allows us to also have Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer joining in that press. You know, we need everyone pressing high. And then we can win the ball back higher than normal in PSG's half and try to get some goals. Most definitely. In the midfield, we'll have Caicedo. I believe that's the most important player. He has been announced to be fit and available for the game on Sunday. So having a destroyer in Caicedo, which would allow Reece James, who I think should invert into the midfield, and then we leave a back three of Kukurea, Colwill, and Chalobah. Those should be the men in the back line remaining steady. But Reece going forward to join the press, which forms 6 men pressing high to match PSG's back. make them uncomfortable. Block the passes into Vitinha. Block the passes into Neves. We can't allow them to move the ball forward rapidly, because then they open us up. But the energy we have in the team, I believe, allows us to track back in time and not be vulnerable. So we can defend with a back 5 system, possibly 6, but 5 players, the back 3, including Reece returning, and Caicedo being the destroyer who sits right in front of that back 3 or back 4. So yeah, guys, PSG, a few elements we also have to consider. When PSG start the ball, if they start the game from the center circle, they usually kick the ball out. Why they do this, I initially didn't understand. I noticed it for the first time in the Champions League final against Inter. They receive the ball and they just kick it out. And then their players move into positions to press the opposition so as to discomfort the opposition heavily and to ensure that you can't build tempo and momentum in the early stages of a game. Whilst they understand their positional play and how they can open you up, they almost use it as a tool to understand how you're placing your players, how the players' formation is going to work, and PSG sort of threaten from that standpoint. So don't be surprised when kickoff goes and PSG have the ball and Vitinha just kicks it out deliberately. And of course, they kick it out high up the pitch in the opposition's half to ensure that the play is in your half for them to press you, possibly win possession, and create a chance in the beginning, the opening stages of a game. So yeah, guys, anything else we should mention? Take your chances. If you create chances against PSG, take them. Do not waste chances. Liverpool suffered the fate of not taking their chances. Arsenal suffered the fate of not taking their chances when they were the team on top. So Neto, Joao Pedro, whoever we start in this game, we need our players to be very aggressive in our play, and we need to be clinical. Very clinical, guys. It's a scary prospect because we're playing the European champions, and they're not European champions by chance. They are the best team in the world, arguably. And as I said, guys, they go into this tournament as the favorites. They arrived in America as the favorites. And if they win it, it pains me to say they would have probably deserved it. But I believe Chelsea can arrive with the right game plan here, guys. Let's get it, y'all. Blood is blue. You get me? Spirits are high. We'll be back with more analysis. It's only Thursday. We have Friday. We have Saturday to break it down. Let's get it, y'all.